Welcome to Kick's Basics of Profiling, Level 2. In this video, we will be focusing on how to run a reflow profile with your Kick profiler in data logger mode. In this video, we will show you how to properly set up your Kick profiler to collect a simple thermal profile from your process. After completing this video, you should be able to connect your Kick profiler to the PC via USB, correctly configure and understand the different fields under Global Preferences, check your profiler status using the hardware status, and run a profile that will focus as well on how to properly measure your oven zones. To collect a profile in data logger mode, first connect the supplied USB cable from the PC to your Kick profiler as shown in this video. Next, connect the thermocouples from the profiling board that we have built together on the first level of Basics of Profiling to the Kick profiler as shown here in the video. Start by connecting the thermocouple that extends to the front edge of the board, the RTC, and to channel 1 thermocouple input of your Kick profiler. Note in the video that the first channel, channel 1, is designated as air. To ensure the accuracy of the system and a successful profile, it is critical that the air thermocouple be connected to channel number 1. Please proceed by connecting all the remaining thermocouples. The order is not critical for the purpose of this training video. Now that we have our thermocouples connected to the profiler, let's configure the software. From the main screen of the Profiling Software 2G application, shown here, left mouse click on the Global Preferences button. Please verify all the configurations are correct for your system and process, starting with the units of measure. After, check the product start temperature. This will define when your profiler will start collecting thermal data. Please change the values where necessary. Next, under the Profiling Hardware section, confirm the profiler is connected and in data logger mode. Please note, if you have a smart dock and you want to run in transmitter mode, click on the link shown here in this video for further instructions. Finally, click on the green check mark when done to save your changes. Now, back in the main screen, check the hardware functions by left mouse clicking on the hardware status button. In hardware status, under the device section, confirm the profiler is found and ready to profile. Below, you should see a COM device number with live temperature readings. The number of readings will depend on the number of TCs attached. If you click on the SPS logo, it will pop up a small screen where the SPS LED status will appear, where you should see the percentage of battery charge. Also, verify that there are no alerts. If there are any alerts, you can see more details about them. You are also able to check or delete any stored profiles in your SPS. Please note, this feature only works for the SPS profiler. Once you have confirmed that your profiler is connected, showing live readings, there are no alerts, and is ready for profile, click on the green check mark to exit hardware status and return to the main screen. Following the thermal profile curve shown here, left mouse click on the Run a Profile button. The first window you will see is related to the product and process information. Data is stored by product name, so we recommend entering a product name related to the oven recipe that is loaded when collecting the data. This name can be selected from the drop-down menu the next time you run using the same recipe. Next, select your process window from the pull-down menu shown here. If you have already defined one, you can select it from this drop-down menu. If you do not know or have a process window defined, you can select a default process window now and apply a new spec to this profile after it is completed. Next, select Solder Reflow in the Application drop-down menu. In the Oven Name field, type in a name for the oven you are profiling. The oven name you enter here will automatically be saved when you complete the profile and can be selected from the drop-down menu the next time you run a profile. Left mouse click on the right or next arrow key to continue. In this window, we will define the number of heating zones for our oven as well as the dimensions of all the individual zones. The correct measurement of the zones is critical for the system's accuracy when predicting any changes during optimization. Please start by entering the number of heated zones in the upper right-hand corner. If all the zones have the same length, leave the box "All zone lengths are the same" checked, and you can move to the next menu. If not, uncheck the box "All zone lengths are the same" and define the zone dimensions individually. Please note that most oven models do not have the same lengths. When measuring the zone lengths, it is important to measure the gap between them. If your oven has gaps between the zones, please add half of the gap to each adjacent zone. In these two examples shown here, the first example shows incorrect zone dimensions. In the second example, you will see how to properly measure the zones and correctly apply the gaps between them, as shown in this video here. Please left mouse click on the next or right arrow to proceed. Next, please record the oven zone temperature and conveyor speed set points. If any zone has different values for the bottom or top set point, please uncheck the box "Top and bottom set points are the same" and change the set points accordingly. When done, left mouse click the right arrow to proceed. The following window depicts the attachment of the Air TC to the profile board. Please connect the Air TC so that it extends 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters from the leading edge of the board, shown in this video, and is plugged in to the first channel of the profiler. Note, if the Air TC is not attached correctly, it can affect the accuracy of the Air TC readings. Please left mouse click the next or right arrow. Please connect the rest of your TCs to the profiler in a similar fashion as shown here. The order of connection for the remaining TCs is not important. Please left mouse click the next or right arrow. In this window, you should be able to confirm that you are seeing live readings from all the thermocouples attached. If you choose to add labels to your TCs, please check the Include Thermocouple Labels box on the top left and proceed accordingly. In case you don't know which thermocouple is connected to which channel, you can always put your finger on top of a TC and see the temperature rise in the software. That will allow you to locate which channel the TC is attached to and label it. Please also check your profiler internal temperature and battery voltage. If no errors are indicated, click on the traffic light button to start your profile. An additional window will display asking you to confirm that the oven temperatures are stabilized and within 2 degrees of the oven set points. If true, click Yes to continue. If not, left mouse click No and please follow the instructions on the screen to correctly start the profile. Following the example shown here, unplug the USB cable, put the profiler inside the thermal shield, close and latch it. Follow the prompts in the software to correctly introduce your profiler and profile board into the oven. Once it is fully in or on the oven conveyor, left mouse click on the next or right arrow. After removing your profiler and profile board from the oven, please plug in the profiling USB cable to your profiler to start the profile download. After the profile download is completed, verify if your profile is in or out of process specifications. To do this, use the PWI values to quantify the performance of the thermal profile based on the process window specifications. In the lower right-hand corner of the screen, you will see a PWI value for this profile. If the value is less than 100, the PWI value will be displayed in green, indicating all profile results are within the process window specification limits. If this value is displayed in red, one or more of the PWI values are above 100% and the profile results are outside the process window specification limits. If the process results are outside of the process window limits, you can choose to optimize. To learn more about optimizing your profile, see training video Basics of Profiling Level 3. With the Kick profiling software, you are able to identify with a single value if you are in or out of your process specification limits. If you want to learn more about PWI, process windows, and optimizing your profile results, please see the training video, Basics of Profiling Level 3. This concludes our video on how to run a data logger profile. You now know how to connect your profiler, configure the software, check for communication and basic troubleshooting from the hardware status, and as well as the correct way to set up and run a profile in data logger mode. You can now identify an in or out of spec situation in your process and are ready to move to the next level of the series. Thank you for watching this video, and don't miss the level 3 of the Basics of Profiling.